Previously on Survivor. After Vinny's elimination, a shocked Jamie and Hannah formulated a plan to flip Luke on the Robbie-Mel pairing, while Luke and Mel became wary of Robbie's gameplay. On Kaidi, Ben, Rachel, and Jenna solidified their alliance with each other and returning player Greg. Meanwhile on Shindana, Autumn was feeling socially isolated and became frustrated with Carron, who was lying about meeting up with Vinny. And Autumn was not the only one skeptical of Carron, as Josh worked out that Carron had been lying based on his Instagram activity, and he worked to form an alliance with Taylor and David. At the immunity challenge, Autumn and Ben found clues to a hidden immunity idol, and Kaidi and Shindana worked together to ensure a Teratibu loss. A night of idol hunting for many ended with Ben discovering the trust idol, an idol only good until the final 7, with the ability to extend the idol's power if able to obtain signatures from other tribe members. On Shindana, Carron continued to build alliances with people from other tribes, this time with Robbie, while Taylor formed a connection with Juliana, ensuring the trio a 4th vote and leaving Autumn and Carron on the bottom of the tribe. On Kaidi, Nora was out of town and slipped further down the totem pole as Greg formed a side alliance with Kevin as a backup. On Teratibu, Robbie was in on the plan to target Jamie, but threw Luke's name out to Jamie and Hannah to calm their nerves. Hannah and Jamie put their plan into action, using this information to turn Luke on Robbie. Luke went to Mel to convince her to join in flipping, but Mel worked to convince Luke to flip back. Jamie, feeling the heat, decided to create a fake immunity idol as a last-ditch effort to save herself. At Tribal Council, Robbie pulled out his bag of tricks, but it was Jamie's fake idol that spurred the most conversation, and the chaos ended with Mel and Luke turning on their former ally, sending Robbie home in a 4-1 vote. 16 are left. Who will be voted out tonight?
That was a really good move. I was definitely going to be out.
Didn't think I was voting Robbie because I was getting weird vibes from Mel. So I had every intention to vote Jamie. But Jamie pulled out an idol, which I'm pretty sure is fake. But you have to treat it like it's real.
Literally today, like everything just blew up and Luke wanted to vote for Jamie and I was like, no. And then Mel was like calling me all over the place and was like, me, you, and Luke should be together to vote Jamie out. So honestly, I don't know what our next steps are, because if Mel and Luke were definitely on our side, that'd be good. But I think that Jamie would be more useful in a merge than Mel.
I feel bad because like going into the merge, I don't really want to work with any of these people. I mean, I have Josh, and that's kind of who I plan with working with at this point. But regardless, this thing is a saving grace, and clearly they think it's real. So.
Okay, I'm honestly hoping that that fake idol convinces Jamie that she did that on her own. This was a really hard vote. I feel like this is like definitely a power shift, but also like, I mean, Robbie and I had a friendship. I'm gonna see him on the floor like all the time, so. That sucks. I hope you can see that this is part of the game, but I do see this being the end of my game. The start of the end of my game. I'm gonna hustle hard though. I'm gonna have to talk to Hannah and like make that connection.
I'm feeling pretty good about the game so far. Now that recruitment for our sorority is finally over, I can focus more on Survivor and like keep that as like a priority. Okay, so we were just talking about like our last challenge and how we won again.
Pretty dope. A couple winners here.
Right.
So we've got Rachel, you said feels comfortable with you,
Right.
with me.
Right.
So we've got a strong 3 then at least. Like
Right.
even if we're just hypothetically removing Ben from that situation, we've got
If needed.
me, you, Rachel as a tight 3 that we can work with hopefully far into the game.
And
I
then
think that's a
maybe
good idea.
wouldn't be terrible to let Ben have a little bit of power and think that he kind of controlling the game, because if the target is on him, not you or the top 4 in general,
Right.
and that like puts us all farther in the game. And
Yeah.
then if needed, just pluck Ben out of the picture.
Yeah.
I know that Nora and Kevin are kind of probably on the bottom right now. At least that's what I am feeling like, because I had Ben reach out to me multiple times, as well as Rachel. I really don't know if they've met behind the scenes.
We've got 2 votes to play with Nora and Kevin. And we've got 2 shields with Ben and Rachel. And then we still have us.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's going to get us pretty far.
I mean, her and I have definitely gotten along really well, so I'm hoping that was genuine. I was being genuine. I do want to work with Jenna, especially because she's got that connection with Autumn. So I'm hoping that she is as invested in her and I as I am.
I feel like on my tribe, Jenna is my best bet for like a strong alliance. And it helps that like she seems to trust you too. And so like she can be put in the middle of the 2 of us and seem like a lot more valuable that way.
No one on my tribe will talk to me, but I am meeting up with Taylor after this challenge, and I was putting it off because I talked to her for a little bit like after we walked home from the first challenge, and she didn't want to throw anyone's name out, so I was like, okay, I'll just give it some time. And then I caught her leaving with Carron, so I was like, well, now I really don't want to talk to this girl if she's working with Carron, because Carron's crazy. But at this point, like, if I don't do anything, I'm going home. If I do something, the worst that happens is I still go home. So
yeah,
why not? I reached out to Taylor because, like I said before, I'm going home if I talk to her or if I don't talk to her as of right now. So the worst thing that can happen is I still get voted out first. Best thing that can happen is we vote off someone like David, who still did not reach out to me. So whatever, it's fine. I texted Greg about hummus at 3 a.m. So
she's committed.
We really
I'm
like
getting
it.
people on the bandwagon. You wouldn't know by looking at me, but I'm a hummus guy.
So then the only other thing is getting ready for this challenge. And, you know, the Survivor fans don't know this, but I'll show them something. Last year, I won most likely to be found in the hummus aisle at Kroger. That's me. But unfortunate turn of events, I'm out of hummus, kind of hungry. So after winning 2 challenges, I'm going to kind of make a bold statement here, in that I would prefer hummus over immunity tonight. So give me that hummus. I'll gladly go to a tribal council, and we'll see how it goes.
Hey guys. Donna, welcome back. Well, we're going to our TV trial. Anna, Mel, Jamie, Luke, Robbie, we're the last tribal council. So, first things first, we take immunity back. David, you gotta come up. Right. Donna, RTU. Today, we'll be switching things up. But we're going to stay in our tribes for that. Today, you'll be competing for 1. Immunity.
I tell you, I knew it.
So, 1 tribe will take away immunity. The other 2 will attend tribal council this week, so we'll cut from 16 to 14 in a matter of a week. So with that, we're going to get to what today's challenge is. So, today's challenge is very simple. You guys will divide up 4 people per tribe to make an equal Tartibu. And then each of you will be given a string assembled in a square. And in the middle of this square is a platform. You will use the strings to suspend in the air. One at a time, one tribe mate will take a block, climb their way into the middle, place the block in a formation that we'll explain to you on the platform. And then you'll return to where you came from, and the next person in the circle will go. Each person does 2 blocks. Once you get all 8 blocks stacked up on your platform, and everybody is back to where they came from, away from the platform, and they hold it for 5 seconds. That tribe wins. Very simple stacking challenge. There's a lot of focus, a lot of balance. And with that, we're going to get you guys a minute to strategize. Each tribe has to sit out 2 people. Autumn and Nora, you guys cannot sit out. You guys sat out on the last challenge. So with that, you have a minute to strategize, figure out who's going to sit out. We're starting, all right? Let's go. All right, so you guys have a minute to strategize. Shindana, who's sitting out? You got Juliana and Carron, who's sitting out for Kaidi. You got Kevin and Rachel. That being said, the other 4 assemble in your stations and we'll get started. Let's go. So, that being said, 1 tribe today will be winning immunity. It's the first tribe to stack all 8. The other 2 will be joining me in Tribal Council this week. Survivors ready, go! First one's easy. Only gets harder. Already dropped. Donna, go ahead. Has to be in the hand when you're going. Has to be in the hand when you're going. Has to be in the hand when you're going, Gideon. Not tuck it away. You have to hold it to hand. Yep. Got 3 for Tartibu, 3 for Shindana. 3 for Kaidi.
Greg.
Yes, sir.
Can I move the block?
Adjusting the block. So I asked you guys questions. You did not touch the other blocks that are already placed on there with your hands. You can touch them with the block, not with the hand. Yeah. Shindana's got 4. Tartibu's got 4. Tartibu, twice this fit. Yeah. 3 years plus. Gotta go in the middle. Anna's place in the fit for Tartibu. Ella's up. It's not the way. It's not the way minor. Oh, like this. Yeah. Great. So let's kind of like readjust our 6 for Tartibu, 5 for Kaidi. Taylor still trying to place that one. Just gotta go in the middle. Nora is placing 6-3. Donna is struggling to place their Jamie is placed the 7th for Taratibu. One more. Shigana falls. They have to start over. Luke is up for the last block. Taratibu. They're going to 2 straight tribal councils. They can be immune for the next 2. He's steady, but they're going for their 8th as well.
Jenna, they just start placing it right now.
Luke just placed it.
You got this, Jenna.
All right.
Just get up out there. Back up. Great. Nice and slow.
Jenna has placed the last one.
Nice and slow.
Luke. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so guys, fun challenge. Not as athletic as the last couple ones. Required a lot of focus on the balance. Taratibu came out on top. Taratibu come out. Taratibu, for the first time, will not be attending Tribal Council this week. It comes at a perfect time because this week we'll have both Kaidi and Shindana coming to Tribal Council. Both of you guys will be voting one person out of your tribe. We'll give you guys a couple days to figure out who that's going to be. We'll see both tribes at Tribal Council later this week, alright?
We won the fucking challenge, and we didn't know, but we thought it was gonna be double elimination, and we still fucking pulled it off, and we have not felt this yet, and it feels really, really damn good.
Probably didn't feel like the most confident in our balance abilities. Like, I bought Heelys last year and I couldn't even use them because I was so like uncoordinated. I couldn't even balance. So it was probably a good call that I did do this challenge. But it really does suck. It feels bad to lose our first challenge, but now I know how Taratibu feels for losing like 2 in a row. That must have felt pretty shitty. So I feel for them.
Luckily, I stayed a little bit ahead of the game, and I've talked to David and Taylor and kind of formed an alliance with them. We need to get together, figure out who we want to bring in as our 4th. I know we don't want Carron, but I don't know who we're going to bring in.
So, I'm thinking probably Greg or Sweet Kevin, but I don't want to do him because I feel like he'd be loyal because of how nice he is. But I'm always iffy with the returners. And the Green Tribe, Taratibu, I think, they were smart enough to get rid of Vinny their first time. So I'm thinking my tribe will be smart enough to do the same thing.
Who came on the strongest and who's not really pushing their foot in the door yet, and we think that's Nora. But we will, again, discuss that and like see what happens. And then we do have a backup right now, at least Greg and I do, as Kevin.
Trying to meet with people, trying to get things done. So I already met with Taylor, and she was the first one I talked to because out of everybody in my tribe, like I really, really like Taylor. So in Survivor, I feel like everyone has to have like their one person, and I really want that to be you.
Yeah, okay,
so,
yes.
Yeah.
We just won't tell people to act like, oh.
We'll just say like we're working together, but like for this vote and
Yeah.
Okay. And then as far as everyone else goes, I think Juliana's a sweetheart.
Yeah, she is, and I think she would I think anyone would do whatever as long as
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
as long as we tell if you tell people it's Carron, everyone's probably gonna be like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
And she told me some stuff about Carron that makes me not, trust him as much.
At the very least, she's definitely conflicted, which is good. So I told her that I wanted to go Carron, and I think she's, as far as I know, she's on board, or at least considering it, which is good. But I think he's just one of those people who will do anything to go far in the game, but he's also playing so hard right now that it's gonna get sloppy really fast, and he's gonna get caught up in so many lies. That's all he does is lie through his teeth.
So I've been on this super strict diet lately where pretty much just been eating proteins and vegetables and literally nothing bad. But today has actually been the worst day for me in this game up to this point. So I'm just deciding to eat my sorrows away. First week, try to team up with Vinny. The dude gets voted out. Second week, teams up with Robbie, has a confessional with him, talks to him, has a strategy, totally set up with him. He's out. That's the first two people, and now my game is I don't know where to go from here. Obviously, Autumn is kind of, I don't have any bad blood or personal things against literally anybody.
Yeah.
But I think Autumn just being in the situation that, okay, so one, she's a vet.
Yeah.
Two, she got far in her season, really far.
And she hasn't directly said it, but
right, and that's what I'm saying. It's the writing on the wall is super obvious. I think it's a no-brainer that we need to vote Autumn out at this point.
And Carron is just, he's all anti-Autumn. He's just yeah, we can get her out. Boom, easy. That's the plan. And I'm just yeah, of course. Yeah, easy. Why not? And it just couldn't have gone any better. So we know they're not gunning for me, Taylor, or Josh. I think it's pretty clear. Autumn is a target. Carron is a target.
Personally, I think Autumn is useful.
Yeah, I think the tribe swap has to be happening because two tribes are going to tribal council, and I feel she would stay with us more than Carron.
Yeah.
Because I think Carron
has
been talking to other people the whole Vinny thing and
Yeah, I think he's definitely talking to other people. Yeah.
And so he would definitely switch. He would not stay with us.
There's not. Yeah, if he's gonna talk to other tribes before he even talks to any of us, there's no doubt in my mind that he'd just flip right when he swapped.
Yeah, he was thinking too far ahead.
I just really have to be careful with my personality because I've seen how it goes for dominant people or people who come off in charge. I'm not here to try to be in charge, but like I said, I'm a little concerned that no one's reached out to me, so at that point I gotta make do and plan. So I guess we'll see. I think after the first tribal council I'm gonna tone it back, chill, ask everyone what they want to do, and then from there go on. But if we don't get Greg out this first time, I don't know. So as of now, I have meetings officially with Ben, Kevin, and Jenna, the three people who I think I have a good chance at convincing to vote off Greg. It's just I'd want to be with someone, and I really like you. Yeah, because you're really sweet, and we interviewed together.
Yes, we did.
So I'm just kind of I know him. I liked how he was in the interview. You seem like a really genuine person.
I said I saw Greg. I talked to him, but he's definitely a huge target, a huge threat.
Okay. Woo! I'm glad you said that.
I know.
Okay.
I said it.
Okay.
I figured you probably would.
No, I agreed. Yeah. No, I just want to make sure because you said you talked to him. I'm are you aligning with him already? Because he's the biggest. First of all, Tara Tibu, I think the Green Tribe, they eliminated their biggest threat, which was Vinny.
Right.
So I think it would be smart for us to do the same.
Yes. This alliance she proposed to me is incredibly tempting. it puts me in the numbers. I mean, if Greg goes home, then me, Nora, and Ben would theoretically have the numbers. So we would survive another tribal council. I would survive another tribal council if we had to do it. But yeah, the unfortunate part is it puts me in a really sticky situation with Greg because he was the first person I talked to, like outside of tribal events. He wanted to align with me, and I agreed. He is a huge threat. It's a huge target. He's a huge liability if you go into a swap situation. I don't know if he's going to be loyal to us.
That's what I said.
Yes.
That's what I told Ben. And so I'm like, and if we're going to do that, then we need to get rid of him fast before we can no longer convince other people.
Yes. I gave my word to him that I would have his back if he had mine. And it's looking like I'm going to have to go back on that.
Like, we were saying, like, we really like everyone on our team, like, generally, whatever. And the only, like, we just felt that, like, we click with Kevin a little bit less than everyone else. And, like, I feel bad saying that, but, like, I
think he's very
quiet.
quiet.
Think it's a little, he's quiet. It's a little more awkward. Like, we like Greg, but also we don't really know since he's a returner.
Yes.
Like,
okay. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. And that's why I'm asking to be sure, because I like Rachel. I could totally see myself lining with her. I really can. And I haven't reached out to her yet just because I was scared because I noticed her and Greg, and maybe she's just playing him really well, her and Greg seem to interact a lot and talk a lot. And he's already, like, trying to get rid of us so he can move forward. So I'm just kind of like, just level the playing field and maybe, like, either him or, like you said, Kevin.
Okay, so Nora is pretty adamant about voting off Greg, which are all fair points. However, I feel pretty secure in my new alliance with Greg, Jenna, Rachel. Yeah, Greg, Jenna, and Rachel. And we all seem like we're okay with sending Nora home. I try to push the vote to Kevin because I like Kevin, but he's awkward and he's not strong in challenges. And Nora seemed like if Rachel and Jenna were really unwilling to go for Greg, that she'd be willing to compromise with getting Kevin out.
But man, I could not sleep last night. I was literally thinking about who and what I should say to people. So sorry for that sunspot right there. Anyway.
Really, like, as far as targeting comes into play, I think, honestly, like, with us sitting in front of this video right now, I think you and I are, at this point, the biggest targets among the others for these reasons. One, because we all know, like, let's just point out the elephant in the room, like, you're the vet. That's just automatically going to be a target before you even walk into the game. Me, I'm kind of like the loudmouth kind of like of the group.
Long story short, he said he wanted David. I said, yeah, let's go David. Is he really going David? No. Like, there is not a chance, not even a 1% chance that he's actually going David. And I don't know, it's one of those things that, like, you're sitting there and they're talking to you and you're just like, everything coming out of your mouth right now is a lie, but, like, I'm gonna keep smiling and nodding and acting like it's not. Oh, and then at the end of this whole conversation, this boy has the nerve to go, he, like, turns off the computer and then he's like, yeah, I really like to play an honest game. Like, no, you do not, apparently, because you just lied about every single thing. It's this guy. So I just don't understand that. I don't understand this guy's thinking, but I do understand the fact that I can't stand him and he needs to go. I met with Carron later that day, and he told me that he wanted to either go for you or Josh, which kind of, like, puts you at the bottom of that totem pole once I'm gone. If he was telling the truth, like, he could just be lying to my face. But and then he said he just wanted to use Taylor for, like, the vote and, like, get rid of her, whatever. And he said he met up with Robbie, so he's meeting with more people.
I love how he's only meeting up with people from other tribes. Like,
I know.
When they're out.
He never, like, reached out to me or anything.
People.
I was like, okay.
like I don't trust him. That's why I think he's a big threat. Because like I think he is so like wants to win so badly that he's willing to do whatever, and that means like turning on like relationships and like friendships. So like I feel like he would like leave our tribe in a second if it came down to like a tribe merge.
The fact that he talked to people from a different tribe before anyone on his own
It was
tribe.
like day one.
I know, like it's a little aggressive.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Like
so.
what are you trying to go for?
Yeah,
here?
and he was like sloppy about it because he did the whole like Instagram thing, and he's going through it like the whole time acting like I'm stupid, and I'm sitting here like I know you're lying to me, so like stop underestimating me. That's my biggest pet peeve is when people underestimate me.
So naturally, we lost a challenge. What's the first thing a tribe does? Get tribe dinner. Yeah, that makes fucking sense. My tribe's full of idiots.
I think so.
But yeah, we had dinner, so that was cool.
Yeah.
Why do you have a tribe dinner after you lose? It doesn't make any sense. So that was a complete waste of time.
And she pretty much right off the bat was like, do you want to be in an alliance with me? And I was like, whoa. I mean, I said yes because I was going to be like, no. But basically she was pushing really hard for Greg to be sent home.
You know, good for her. That's an easy one to try to rally people around. She said I'm super threatening, I'm too social, I'm too good at challenges, too charming, too awesome, you know, is kind of like stuff that I feel like she probably said about me. Too good looking, too great, you know? Yeah. So that's, I think, where I'm coming from here. And I get it. It's tough to compete against me. I am too great. I'm too social. I'm too good at this game. I get advantages. I get idols. I get girlfriends. I'm too good at it. I'm too good. So I can see why she's threatened.
She seemed willing to vote off Kevin though, because we talked like kind of how we have all talked that like he's a little more awkward. He doesn't like fit in totally with the team.
We're pretty confident that like that's our squad. We have a group text and whatever, so we've been telling each other everything. Ben came up to us and flat out told us everything that happened with Nora, which was great. And we've been very open with each other with everything else that we've been up to.
Well, according to the people in this room, it's either Kevin or
Nora.
Obviously.
Just by process of elimination.
And then like you gotta weigh like Kevin has been weaker in challenges.
But he would
and
be
if
a
we're
really
assuming
good
that our tribe is even going to stay together and there won't be any kind of swap, then we want to stay strong and go to challenges so that we can win immunities. But also, Nora is super social. I mean, we're the social tribe, but
right. She's very outspoken.
Yeah, but and I think I like Nora a little more than the rest of them do. I think I'm gonna make up my mind tomorrow after I hear what Kevin and Greg's meeting went like and what Jenna and Nora's meeting went like.
So, I think it was a pretty general consensus that, like, you know, everyone wanted to, like, go with the majority vote Autumn.
Just found out this dude David is in the marching band here at Ohio State. The best damn band in the land. That's what they call it. So that's kind of cool. See, you learn something new every day. Just 'cause I like my idea of what I think we should do as a group hasn't changed. I just think literally it would be so easy for all of us just to have like the same plan, unanimously vote it, and that way going into next week everyone's on the same page.
Carron, I feel like, would flip and like if we went to try, like if we, because I bet there's gonna be a tribe merge.
Yeah,
and like I for sure see him not staying with
exactly.
us.
No, I agree. If he were to stay in the game, especially given a likely tribe merge next challenge or some sort of like switching up, like who else has he talked to from the other tribes? We don't know like who else. Like we've seen these, but he just doesn't seem like he's made enough connection with our tribe and is too focused on making those possible connections with other people that
he's so focused on like, you know, way far down the road in this game that he never built a foundation with us, and like I think it's just all about to crumble.
Yeah.
So I think we're on the same page here. I hope we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
To make sure that Sunday is easygoing and we're gonna walk out of tribal with literally no. We're not gonna have a monkey on our backs.
Yeah, no, not at all. I think this should be. I hope this will be like the easiest tribals that we're gonna have.
It should. I mean, it can be if everyone just like keeps doing what they say they are.
Yeah, he's been very loose with his gameplay. I guess is the best way I could describe it. He's not, covering his tracks at all. And I think, for me, I've said it a lot, but this is the easiest vote for me. It's just, we need to get Carron out of the game.
But I mean, I feel good, right? I feel so much better right this second than I did earlier today.
I'll just kind of jump into it. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's between me and Nora. This
That's
vote
what I'm
is
thinking.
the impression that I'm getting.
Yeah, I did kind of stretch the truth a little. I said that I didn't know what was going on, even though I did. I didn't want him to think that I was conspiring against him myself, because to a degree, I guess that's true. Really, it was Nora who led the charge against Greg.
Let me know if
I get like definitive, we're voting Greg, I'll like sound the alarm, like, oh, we need to
please,
go find the idol.
because then I can at least scramble and hopefully find something, but I don't know, we'll see. Bullshit. He's a liar. He had me going for a week. He's a liar. So Kevin's not with me. I won't be telling Kevin if I find an idol. And he's lost my trust. So Kevin, I'm sorry. You're gone. I'm sorry, Kevin, but you did this to yourself. You had an ally with me, and it's gone. Right now, I trust Ben, I trust Jenna, I trust Rachel. So if everything goes the way I think it will, it's going to be 4-2.
Sorry about my getup. I'm about to have TG with Gregory Friedberg. Woo! Okay.
Oh, he's gonna cut that
out. Yeah. So, kind of thinking, well, we have like Kevin was kind of awkward and shy, but he might be a good number for this vote. We have the biggest threat, Greg. And I was like, well, Kevin's like kind of like awkward. I don't know how far he's gonna make it in this game. But then Nora spilled to me about how schemy Kevin has been, and about how he has a better survivor mind than we thought. She just wants to be in control. I could tell how power hungry she was when I met with her. And she was like, you and Ben and I would be such a strong, like, 3 powerhouse. We could like control this game, and we could like meet other people once we merge and make it even stronger and just pick people off one by one. Yeah, like good plan, but I think that you're thinking way ahead of what you should be and not focusing on what's happening now.
Carron's the odd man out here. I don't know, I think through all of our meetings it's been pretty obvious that he's been the name that's been brought up the most. Yeah.
he's very sketchy, and going into like maybe a tribe swap in the future, you need someone you can trust. So I feel pretty good going into this tribal though. I think that it's gonna go my way, and it was nice because it wasn't just like, it was like 10 seconds of survivor talk just to like say, yeah, we're voting Carron, and then it was actually like just life talk. And it's one of those moments when you're like looking around the room and you're like, yeah, we're all here to play survivor, but we're gonna leave friends, and it's just so happy. And that's probably my favorite thing about survivor is, I know we say it all the time, but like we're best friends that vote each other out, and already on season 3, like I can tell that these people are going to be around for a while, and they're just great people.
So obviously we're gonna try and vote Carron tonight, which I think personally is a good move because I just don't trust him after everything he's done. And information was shared to me that he even said that I was a weak player, and that I was just like an easy vote to go along with.
I think if he had just made a couple of different moves, I don't think he would have been in this position right now. He shouldn't have reached out to people in the other tribe so early on. He needed to focus on forming a foundation with us, because ultimately we're in tribal council and now we're in this situation. So it was obvious to us that his loyalty was not with us, and it was more selfish towards himself.
Week's been pretty laid back. right now, I think I'm hoping that it's just going to go with the vote. Everyone going the way that they've been saying they're going to go, and that's to have a unanimous vote for Autumn. I mean, Autumn texted me and told me that she's like, everything good? I'm like, yeah, everything good here. But she doesn't know that everything's good for her.
Donna, welcome to your first tribal council of season 3. Survival time change. Each one of you have been given a torch. You're going to approach your torch and ignite it, giving you fire. Because in this game, fire represents your life. And as long as you have fire, you're still in this game. Fire is out. Donna, welcome to your first tribal council. Probably a pretty nerve-wracking day for you guys because you've played this game now for 2 weeks. And it's the first time you've actually had to stress to find out who can you trust in this game. Because this is where the game is actually played. We can talk about challenges all we want. But at the end of the day, one person wins this game by getting rid of the other 17, right? So this is where that game is played. So with that, I want to talk about what the past 2 weeks have been like for you, David, because you come into this game and you got 2 weeks really of safety until now. But what has the past 2 weeks been like? Were you still having meetings and everything? What was going on?
We had a little bit of a break before Tribal, which was definitely nice, but I think it was still pretty stressful. Just because the nature of the game, you never know what conversations are happening where.
So what have you found most difficult with that? Just having conversations, like fitting it into your schedule? What has it been like to integrate this with your colleague?
Yeah, fitting it into the schedule is definitely hard because, especially as a graduating senior, I've got to make sure I don't screw things up right now. So finding time in between going to classes is kind of tough to meet with people, but that's what you got to do.
And on the other side of the spectrum, Juliana, you're not a graduating senior, you're a freshman, right? So what has this been like to do this in your second ever semester in college? Is it stressful for you? Has it been hard to integrate it with like adjusting to college life as well?
Since it's the second semester, I feel like decently adjusted at this point, which is good. It was kind of a worry going into the game that people would see me as a freshman kind of underestimate me or like not want to pair up because they think that maybe I have like not as much experience or knowledge as them.
And then on the other side, Autumn, you played this game now in back-to-back semesters. But I want to ask you what the difference between the two has been for you, because in the beginning of season 2, probably very different from this experience in the beginning of season 3.
Being a returning player in general, there comes like the whole stigma of, oh, like how far did she make it? She's gonna be like the beast. Like I don't know what these people think of me, but like it's definitely there is a target on my back. So trying to adjust for that and just like trying to like having these 5 days before this tribal really helped because I definitely needed it to get acclimated and like make those relationships and get rid of that stigma.
So then, Carron, I talked about at the beginning of this tribal council that this is where the game is actually played. Because challenges are great and all, they guarantee you safety, but you can't be safe for the entire game, because then what's your pitch at the end? So then let's talk about the nerves of being here. Are you nervous? Are you excited to be here, finally get to play the game and vote someone out?
I think we're all like nervous to be here, like all 6 of us, no matter what happens, just because it's the first one. And like you said, we've been playing for 2 weeks and haven't really had to worry about anything. So being here, it's like the first experience. So it's exciting. Like it's finally the first week we get to really dig down and strategize. But at the end of the day, like not everyone can get through every week. Someone has to go home. So
13 days in this game, we have 15 left, and after tonight, we'll have 14 left. So Josh, does it surprise you how fast this game is moving? Are you nervous, excited for what's next, just based on the pace that's been going so far?
It's definitely a lot more surprising than what I had imagined. I mean, again, talking with different people, like we expect something to happen next, whether it be splitting 2 tribes or tribe swap, since everybody's in tribal council, we're down to 14, but you know, you can never really know what to expect. aspect of Survivor, so we'll see what happens at the next challenge.
And Autumn, you talked about at the beginning of this Tribal Council being that threat and that target from coming from Season 2. So then what is your pitch to these guys? Because it's probably come up. Is that she's a returning player, easy vote, right? What has been your pitch this week to people?
My pitch for this week has been that it really doesn't matter if I've played before. It's a completely new season, there's new people, and it's not going to help me at all. Like, logistically speaking, yeah, I know how to like do confessionals and like kind of work around my schedule and stuff, but there are different people, different personalities. No one's going to act the same, and we really need to think about next week when there is going to be like that inevitable tribe swap. Who do you want that you can trust and like rely on? And I think that I'm definitely that person.
So Carron, then we talk a lot about what's next, and I've had a couple mentions of what could be next in terms of twists, swaps, things like that. But what do you hope that most people around you are considering with their vote tonight? Is it long term? Is it short term? What do you want them to remember?
I mean, I think that just kind of goes back into when you talk about trust. You ask if there's 14 days is enough to be able to gain trust with people, and I think like after we're done here today, I think that's definitely true because you'll really see like who's like lying to you, who's actually trustworthy. So yeah, after the first 2 weeks and now our first tribal, like we'll be able to figure that out. But with that going into like next week or something with a swap or a merge of some sorts, you know, I think we've all built some sort of relationship with each other, like from a positive. Like there's no beef between anybody, so it's like nothing personal. And so if we were to be broken all up, like we'll still have each other's backs in the game, like each week. So.
Well, we'll test some of that trust in just a second here. So unless anyone has anything else to say, we'll get right to the vote. Autumn, you're up.
You told everybody that you were carrying me through this game and carrying me through the challenges, so now it's time for you to carry your stuff home.
No hard feelings. It's just part of the game.
If anyone has an immunity idol, you'd like to play it now with the time to use it. Alright, once votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out, we ask the Tribal Council area immediately. All your votes. First vote. Autumn. Current. One vote Autumn. One vote Current. Current. It's 2 votes Current. Autumn. Current. That's 3 votes Current. 1 vote Autumn. And the 4th person voted out of Survivor Time and Change Urban Legends. It's Current. Current, that's 4. Tonight, that's enough. Grab your torch. Grab his book. There we go. Votes that you guys were on the same page. You got a lot of game to play. 14, you got 76 days left, not even anywhere close to being done. That being said, you guys can grab your stuff, head on out. I'll see you on Wednesday.
Oh man, you know what? I'm super bummed. I put like my all into this game. I mean, I would say I'm like super surprised that I got blindsided. At the end of the day, it's a game. From the start of this game, I really kind of played true to who I was. I knew I was going to have a target on my back from day one, and obviously that showed in the first Tribal Council. You know, earlier this week, I thought I had Taylor, I thought I had David, I thought I had Josh all on board with me. You know, the first night I met with both David and Juliana. Obviously that wasn't a good move. I thought I had everyone in the back of my hand, but it turns out that Autumn had me at the back of her hand. Obviously, I wish I got to play longer. 15 days was not enough. I thought super confident that I was going to be able to go the full 90. But you know what? I tried so hard to get onto this game in the first place, and to be given this chance was, just an awesome experience. I got to meet so many people within the 2 weeks that I was here, and I had a bunch of fun.
But in my situation, if Kevin's gone, then I still have Nora. And Nora thinks we're like ride or die till the end. And she also just thinks that the only reason we sent Kevin home is because the other 3 were unwilling to vote for Greg.
I met with Nora yesterday, like I told you guys was gonna happen, and she was all set to vote out Greg. She's very against having him in this game. She thinks that he is the biggest threat for a returning player, thinks that he has an idol or has been looking for some.
I've got 5 idols.
Yeah, he's got 5, so like he said. She also texted me last night that I forgot to mention. She was like, if you meet with Greg, play dumb, in all caps, and I was like, girl, I played dumb with you. But,
So I asked them this morning, I texted Nora and Kevin, I was like, oh, okay, like, do you guys feel like we need to meet then, since, like, we haven't, like, if we're this, like, 3 alliance or whatever, or, like, meet with Rachel and Jenna or whatever, and they both responded, we're like, no, we're great, everything's gonna be awesome, straightforward vote, it's gonna be unanimous, Greg's leaving, and I was like, that sounds good. I'll just stay at home and wait until tribal. I got myself a bowl of some Lucky Charms here, because I feel like I might need some luck tonight. Am I the only one that's actually worried about this tribal council? Because I texted Nora and Kevin and asked if they wanted to meet today to, like, solidify everything with this Greg plan, and they both responded and were like, no, we're good, this vote's super straightforward, like, we're fine, everything's great. So if they really feel that way, they have a horrible survivor mentality and have no read on the game.
Overall, everyone seemed to wholeheartedly want Greg out. Still a little offended that he pulled up my name several times with people. I'm feeling fine. Me and Ben were both feeling really fine. I still think he is, but I don't know why. I guess last minute I started, like, overthinking and analyzing and, like, thinking, what if they're all in on voting out me? But no.
I don't think this is going to be a terribly exciting or terribly eventful tribal council. It's probably just going to be a unanimous vote against Greg. Puts me in a very good position, so I mean, I'm sad that I have to go against Greg so early, but I'm also happy because it puts me in a good position.
80. Welcome to Tribal Council. With that being said, each of you will be given a match. I'd like to approach this flame and get fire. Greg, you're first. In this game, fire represents your life. As long as you have fire, you're still in the game. When your fire is out, so are you. So, that launch your matches. Let's head outside. So, thank you for spending part of your Saturday with us. So, with that, welcome to your first Tribal Council, the third Tribal Council of Survivor Time to Change Urban Legends. Well, one of the 6 of you will be the third person voted out of this game. And we're going to find out who that is in just a second. It's a new setting for all of you here, because you guys are yet to be here this season. But with that being said, Greg, the elephant in the room, as the returnee, my first question is to you, but really just to kind of compare this season that you've had so far to the season that you had.
So far it's been a little different just because, like, it seemed a lot more accelerated last year for me, and then obviously with 3 tribes as opposed to 2, you don't have as good of an idea of what's going on the other side, or in this case sides, and so that's a little different. So I feel like I'm not necessarily as in the know as I was last season, which is a change, but yeah, I think the big thing is it's just been a little more relaxed. Maybe it's because I don't know as much, as what's going on the other side, but it's definitely been a little more laid back, not as accelerated, kind of getting my feet wet and then moving forward.
So then, Rachel, let's talk about being part of the social tribe. You guys had a lot of extra days to make the decision that's going to be made tonight, and I'm pretty confident that that decision was not just talked about for the first time after you lost the challenge, right? So, do you, like, having known these people now for 13 days and being on the social tribe, are you guys close? Would you say that this is a close-knit tribe? Is it going to be hard to vote someone out tonight?
I think we're close as a 6. We had the tribe dinner during that week, which might seem kind of awkward that like someone's getting voted out and now we're like gonna go eat dinner together. But I think we're pretty cohesive, so it will be a tough one.
So then, Nora, 2 tribal councils have happened before tonight, right? Both attended by the same tribe. They're safe this week. So you guys aren't the only ones nervous. Shindana has this same thing going on tomorrow. But do you think having those extra, like 13 days now that you guys have gotten to know each other, do you think that that will help you in making a decision tonight? Or do you think, again, does it make it harder?
I would say it definitely made it harder because, and I don't know, just because of like the fact that we only had like 1 season to go off of so far to see. But I felt like none of us, and I can't remember who touched on it just now, it was Rachel, I think, like, since we didn't get sent to tribe, like there was no need to like have to collude and talk. So just kind of like after we won our challenges, at least for me, it was, I don't know. So I guess we'll find out. But afterwards, when I go home, I just wasn't worried about it. I just waited till we found out what we were doing next. So I think those 13 days made it harder because like I didn't have to like immediately dislike someone. And I think we all got along pretty well. Like I don't think any of us, and I think a lot of us touched on this, like no one has any animosity toward each other, at least I don't, so, that I know of. So we all seem to be like, I don't know, we all followed our, like what Rachel said about the dinner, even after we knew we would have to vote someone out, we had already pre-planned that because I guess we anticipated a win, to be honest. But we were like, okay, you know what, we're still going to go have dinner, like last for all, but overall, I think it's going to make it a little bit harder.
So then, Greg, you're sitting in a chair that Vinny then sat in that first week because you are the lone returning of the tribe. So then are you nervous that the other 5 could look at you and say, he's a threat, he came back, he's here for a reason, let's get rid of him?
Oh, 100%. And they haven't even seen my season, so that puts a little more mystery into the kind of game I played. I mean, I've tried to be open with them because I don't want it to be a smokescreen to be a reason to vote me out, but I've tried to be open, but it is added mystery, and so yeah, I'm nervous that that's the reason. I hope that if I am going to get voted out today, I hope it's more on merit that I've had in this season and not my past, but obviously I can't control that.
So then, Rachel, let's talk about what's next, because you guys have a tribal council now. We'll be down to 15 people in the game. And you got to start thinking a little bit longer term, right? When are we going to merge? What other twists are at play that could affect what's going to happen in this game going forward? And you have to think about that with this vote. So how much of the future are you thinking about with this vote?
I'm definitely thinking about the future a lot. I think that there's a good chance that it gets split 7-7, since we'll have 14 after this week, especially since one tribe only has 4 people. So it's important that we stay together as a tribe, which is kind of the reason why we had our tribe dinner. So trying to make alliances here so that we could use them for the future is a big reason for the vote. That's happening.
So and then the 5 that leave tonight, you're going to want them to be a united 5, right? Because as Rachel was saying, Shindana will also have 5. And then there's 4 on Taratibu that could be tight as well, having attended 2 tribal councils. So what do you hope this group decides, like when this group makes a decision tonight, do you think that they will walk out a stronger 5?
Based on what I know and what I think is happening, yeah, I would say so.
My last question, just before we go up to vote then, who has heard their name thrown out this week? Everybody but Kevin.
No, it must be nice. It is.
So then, Kevin, my final question will then be to you. So everyone else says that they've heard their name, so you don't seem like you're that nervous. So
I'm nervous.
Okay, let's talk it through. Why are you nervous as someone who didn't raise their hand?
I don't know. If everyone's heard their name except me, does that mean that like I could be getting blindsided tonight? I mean, the more secure you feel, the less you'd be anticipating getting voted out. So maybe I'm just really too secure in my position.
Well, unless anyone has anything else, we're here right to the vote. Being said, Nora, Greg, rep.
I don't know, I feel bad because I feel like you know this is coming, but also you said my name, so I don't feel too bad.
Regardless of what happens, it's going to be a big blindside. Either it's you going home because you're comfortable, or they've put a ton of effort into making me feel comfortable and relying on me, so who knows.
Greg, I'm sorry. I wish I could keep you longer, but you're just too big of a target to keep around.
In just a second here, I'll read the votes. Before I do that, if anybody has a hidden immunity item you'd like to play, now would be the time to do so. Alright, once votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote is Nora. Greg. One vote Nora. One vote Greg. Greg. It's 2 votes Greg. 1 vote Nora. Nora. It's 2 votes Nora. 2 votes Greg. Nora. It's 3 votes Nora. 2 votes Greg. 1 vote left. And the third person voted out of Survivor Time and Change is Nora. Nora, that's 4. Right, that's enough. Sit on out. Alright, Nora, try this one. Kaidi, you survived your first tribal council. That wasn't a 5-strong vote, though. So,
why didn't you guys tell me?
We'll talk about it, all right? Because we got a lot of game to go, guys. It is day 13. You guys have, listen, 77 days left of this game. If you think it's hard now, you got a long, long way to go. You guys can grab your stuff, head on out.
I knew I was feeling too confident. I want to know which person was actually loyal and actually wrote Greg. I have a feeling it might have been either Ben or Jenna who stayed true to the word.
You're just too smart for this game and you've thought way too far ahead, but we'll see you at the finale.
Everyone, I guess, I don't know, I thought it was weird because they all said Greg's name, and then a lot of people said Kevin, which I thought was funny, and I even backed him up, and I backed up Jenna, backed up Ben. So I don't know, like, how last minute they ended up doing that, and I think that's because they just knew solid that I was gonna vote the way I was. So like I said, I don't know who stayed true to their word. Someone did a sad face, I don't know what that means.